onion, smoky bacon, steak and onion, chicken, tikka, pickled onion, McCoys, quavers, mushroom, salt shake, Watsons, frazzles, chips, like Sylvips, French fries, sourdough, Pringles, regular Pringles, healthy Pringles, the other Pringle. I love my crisps. He loves his crisps. Oh, I love the crisps. He loves the crisps. And if I couldn't get them, I'd die. You'd die. Well, not literally. I want some crisps. He wants some crisps. Oh, I need some crisps. He needs some crisps. And I really want some. Of the following varieties. Here comes a list of crisps. Already salt and vinegar, cheese and onion, smoky bacon, steak and onion, chicken, tikka, pickled onion, McCoys, quavers, mushroom, salt shake, Watsons, frazzles, chips, like Sylvips, French fries, sourdough, Pringles, regular Pringles, healthy Pringles, the other Pringle. Already salt and vinegar, cheese and onion, smoky bacon, steak and onion.
Just wow.
That's some interesting stuff right there, isn't it?
That's amazing. I can't believe we've only discovered that today.
Literally.
That's the level of research that goes into these opening songs for you. We thought of that literally as we were leaving. What shit should we play tonight? And then that's what came up. The Crisp song that was. Track remix, of course. Can't find the original on YouTube. Had a good look.
Yep, but that will do. We're here now for rounds 17 and 18 of Season 3 of the SlyDog Racing League. Where are we tonight, Tom?
Tonight we are in France, and then we're going to take a trip across the Atlantic to Mexico. That's the proper way of saying that. I mean, two tracks I like for once this week. There's always one track that I don't like, but no, this week I'm quite happy. I can deal with France, and I can tolerate Mexico as well. So nice and tolerable, Tom, this evening.
Big words from you there.
Yeah, don't patronise me, because that's not cool.
Big words.
Yeah. How has your Monday been, Aaron?
My Monday's been alright, mate. My Monday's been a bit busy. How's your Monday been?
Well, we work at the same place, so you know that's also been a busy one for me.
Yeah, it's been a bit chaotic.
A bit of an odd one, really.
Yeah, I was flat out all day, it seems.
Yeah, weather's been shite as well. That's not helped.
Oh, yeah, it's not good, is it? It's not good.
Keely, that music was awful. Ha ha ha.
Damn straight it was.
I'm not having that. No, I'm not happy with that at all. If you could find me a better song about crisps, post the link. There's my challenge to you. All right.
Loves it really. We've got an exciting interview coming up. In fact, I'm going to see if I can get hold. We've finally, after weeks of waiting, we have got Mogi on for an interview in his Williams, following obviously his double podium week and the Ubers that he has obtained from Darren. So I assume.
Now, I don't want to spoil the fun because we already know what he got with those Ubers. We've been sent the information, the pictures.
Yeah, but not the second.
Not the second. No. To be fair, we don't know the first. I mean, I'm happy to share. He did get a steak and cheese in the end with the first Uber, and I think it might have even been Italian herb and cheese bread, which is just, that's a next level pro gamer Subway.
Oh yeah.
But we'll have a bit more of a chat about that. I don't know if this is a guy that only gets the same thing every single time, or if he's a bit more cultured like me and just likes to change it up every single time you go anywhere, because I can't be doing that. Taste buds need to evolve.
Oh yeah, 100%.
By the way, normally by this point we're up to qualifying or something like that. I think we're just waiting on a few extra people, a few stragglers, let's call them. Let's call them out here. I can't see Granty anywhere in there. He's just decided not to turn up for this race. I think just sort of you know what, I've already got this wrapped up.
Though? It's 8:29. Could this be the first time we see Grant with a quali ban?
Well, it could be that, but if he's not here for the race as well, he's going to break his streak of all the winnings. Butler should be joining us in a minute or two as well, so that should at least make 17 to the mix. We should talk as well, probably a little bit about the championship standings and where we are at the moment. So we are coming towards the end of this league, this season, I should say. We've got another 4 weeks to go, including the next two races here. So we do 2 races a night for those of you who are new to watching us. League at the moment, I mean, the Drivers' Championship is done pretty much. I mean, I think it is mathematically impossible for anyone else almost to win, barring sort of fastest laps and our Driver of the Day awards. But then you've got Joseph in second place, a solid 215 points at the moment. Grant is top, we should say, by the way. We shouldn't forget him, of course. And then Albert in third, 158 points. So a nice gap for Albert to chase down in the last 8 races. NUFC fan Liam is just behind Albert though on 155, so that's looking pretty tight, that battle for the third space in the Drivers' Championship. Then we've got Chatty Duck and Mogi both on 118, so that's another tasty battle between 2 drivers. Then we go to the Constructors' Championship. Naturally, Red Bull are dominating because that's the car of Grant, 498, compared to second place's 240 points, Alfa Romeo. But the Constructors' Championship is a lot tighter. So Alfa Romeo 240, Williams 220, McLaren 220, Racing Point 201, Mercedes 196, Renault 186, and then it just gets lower from there because that's how standings work. But it's going to be a close one. We've got 8 races to go. Plenty of upsets can happen until then. You know, even the guys sort of towards the bottom, the Ferraris, Alpha Tauris, Hasses, can get themselves up there in with a good shout at the podium for this coming championship. And I think I can hear Mogi. Hello? There we are. How we doing, man? You right? Yeah, not bad, not bad. So we're all dying to know. We're very eager to know. You had your second Uber this week. We've seen the first one. We saw the photo of that. That took many criticisms from myself. What did you go for the second one? You know, did you stick with the steak and cheese or did you experiment? Oh, man.
Oh, he's shaking it up.
That's a win.
Oh, he's gone big. Darren's gone big there. That's quite impressive. Is he going to be watching tonight? Is he in the chat at the minute? If you're there, Darren. Oh, gutted. Okay. But can you tell us more about this subway? Because Tom was giving it real harsh criticism until he spotted the little slithers of steak, and then he argued that they could have packed that a bit better.
Yeah, I feel like you got mugged. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I know the steak sometimes has a tendency to flatten out and stick to the top of the bread, and you know I've got no problem with that. But that looked like you got mugged, and then for some bizarre reason you thought olives were a good idea. Yeah.
It sounds like this is a shambolic subway.
And although this is liquid gold, this chat right here, this is radio gold.
We've got liquid gold, but
we've got
says he
technical problems.
Can't hear the caller.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we need to just double check Mogi on your end. If you have a little look at the party chat and look at the if you go back to your
sharing
home screen,
settings,
hit up the party chat section and open it up so you can see all the names on the right hand side. You should see party settings.
This has not gone well. Apologies, folks. We're rather crap at this. But I'll tell you what, maybe we'll try and sort that out for next week, and then we can find out really what you felt about the subway, because I feel like this has been teasing for everyone now. We've had a good chat about it, but they don't know your side of the story. So we can get involved next week. See, Keely, let us know. Let us know when we get to the... Right, well, let's talk a little bit about the racing if it is on, because we were just having a little run through the standings, sort of, for both the constructors and the drivers. So you're sitting a healthy 6th in the Drivers' Championship, currently tied with Chatty Duck for 6th place and 5th, 118 points, and still well within a shout of getting 3rd, possibly even 2nd of the Drivers' Championship if you really put in a couple of blinding races. And then the Williams team as a whole sitting very pretty on 220 points in the constructors in 3rd place. But again, plenty to fight for, 8 races to go. I mean, it's been a very competitive season beyond the top spot, because there's no doubting, Grant's dominated the winning.
Yeah, takes it all.
Yeah, absolutely. But do you feel like you've maybe got another couple of podiums left in you?
Not at these two races, I don't know.
No, not a fan of France or Mexico?
No, terrible on both of them. I think with France, I'll be lucky if I get a top 7. Mexico, hopefully top 5, maybe a podium.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a fan of either of these two tracks really.
No, I'm just wondering if you can tell us as well, because France is often, whenever it's dynamic weather, they like to chuck a bit of rain in. Are we expecting any rain today? Are you able to see that? Because we can't see that at the moment.
Let's have a look, really.
Because that could really spice things up around here.
No, we're not.
No rain, excellent. Okay, so nice and dry race.
Do you also
no excuses.
have any idea on where's Grant tonight?
Yes, he sent me a message, because I messaged him saying, where are you? And apparently he accidentally deleted the game last night, and he's tried re-downloading it in time, and he's not been able to.
So this could well be the first time we see a winner.
Yeah.
Not Grant today, so
Let's hope so.
interesting things are ahead then. But now we can hear you on the stream again, Mogi, so Tom, fire away with your Subway questions again.
So sorry, yeah, my question was obviously who in their right mind puts olives in a Subway?
I do, because
I'm questioning your life choices.
I get as much out of them as I can for the money, so I try to chuck everything in it.
So even shit you don't like, just chuck it in there, lad. I'll pick it out. Someone else can have that. I'll sell it to him. I'll make a buck off it.
No, I don't put like the pickles or anything like that in it, but I do like olives, so I'll chuck it in.
Oh yeah, to be fair, I'm completely against Tom's decision here, because I personally would sling a few olives in there if it was my choice. Yeah. I don't think you can knock that. Just adds a little bit of extra.
Yeah.
But they missed so much of it out as well. It was a terrible delivery.
And where is this terrible establishment? Just so I avoid it. Tottenham. So there you go, folks. Don't bother if you want to go Tottenham for a Subway. Just don't do it. You know.
Don't hit that joint up there and saying things. Yeah.
But if you want to go Tottenham McDonald's, that was pretty good.
That was a winner, was it? Yeah, the best nuggets you've ever had, I assume. Right.
What sort of dips are we talking with the nuggets?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
good shout.
Oh, I always have sweet curry.
Good shout.
No sweet and sour. Not knocking any sweet and sour in there.
No, don't do sweet and sour.
That's a bold shout there. It's good. I'm digging the sweet curry there.
I mean, you're talking to an ex-McDonald's employee here, so I've been through the wars with the sauces, you know.
Me too.
See, you know. I mean, the mixing and the matching, for me, it's always going to be sweet and sour nuggets.
Yeah,
but I'm a very opinionated person, don't really listen to me. Look, you've got about 12 minutes left to put in a couple of decent laps on this track you hate, so good luck, we'll leave you to it, and all the best, and we hope to see you with another Uber before the season ends.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Alright, good luck, take care.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Mogi.
Bye-bye.
Subway King, absolute Subway King, but was sort of let down by his peasantish establishment.
Establishment. Wow. Speak some English. God, you suck so bad.
That's the sort of day I'm having.
Whilst we were discussing, whilst we were discussing about Subways, there was some racing going on. There's some laps being set, man. Jesus, what are you distracting me? Right, James Punt's gone quickest so far, 1:32. We're about to see Wheeler across the line. It's looking quick from the AlphaTauri driver. It's a 1:30.3, which gets him second row of the grid at the moment. Leonard comes in
there as well.
Yeah, pulled a little sneaky on us for 1:29.9. Good work from him. NUFC fan Liam, got to give him a shout as well, at 1:30.3. And Albert at 1:30.7. Now, we need to check his tyres. Yep, Albert's done the traditional go out on a medium. Yep, so we've got plenty more to see from the pink weapon this evening. So yeah, big news. Granty obviously not here tonight, and that means we are going to have another winner, hopefully a different winner. Obviously, so far it's only been Grant and Osborne who have won races in this league this season. So it'd be nice to see someone new. If Osborne wins the two tonight, I'm just gonna flip my Monopoly table, all over the place, and just give up really. You know what I mean, though, yeah?
He won't be winning anything if he doesn't get a lap out. So he's currently, it looks like he may well be on a flyer there. Not telling me he's on an out lap, so I can only assume he is just coming around Sector 1. He's set fastest Sector 1.
We're right on board with the Hash driver then, as he makes his way around this track. So this track is, it gets a lot of criticism from F1 fans for basically being like a car park with a track in the middle of it. And I get it. I mean, there's just runoff everywhere, and you know, it's not the prettiest track to drive around, but I actually quite like it. I think it's quite fun. Got some tricky turns, nice long straights to make plenty of moves, and it is very wide as well. So you know, you never feel like you're too tight to pull a move out. I feel like you can make a move any corner of this track.
Yeah, there's a lot of runoff, and you can use a lot of the curb. Hefty amount of width as well, so you use a lot of width on the exits as well, just to carry as much speed as you can. I think
Should be said, sorry, Joseph Marados has just set the quickest lap, 128.9, so by a whole second. That boy quick.
So that was pretty nifty there. You got 2 DRS zones as well to remember, so going down to turn 1, big overtaking zone down there into turn 1 if you've got the bollocks.
So this is not going to be the quickest lap from Osborne. It's going to be good enough for 12th place at the moment. So work to do for the Haas driver. Willis, who also hasn't set a lap, is not on a flying lap at the moment, but he has invalidated what he is on, so he'll be going for another run on those tyres, I should think. Mogi is just about to come round the final sector and set his first lap he's on his out lap at the moment, so he'll be having to go around again, as is ZGS. ZGS picked up another good couple of results last week and has really put in a couple of good performances the last few weeks in this league. We've got Preston Mixer, who I believe has just started a flying lap, so let's ride on board with the Ferrari driver. Preston Mixer, a driver that always seems to have quite a bit of pace in maybe qualifying and early stages of the races, but is prone to the odd sort of mistake round here. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, to a degree. I think he has made a few mistakes this season. Unfortunately, Ferrari have had a bit of an off patch. I think at the start of the season, the last couple of rounds, they've started to find their way back into the top 10 a little bit. Unfortunately, tonight, no Chatty Duck in the other Ferrari, so it is just Preston Mixer driving for that team this evening. But at the minute, you know, if he keeps with P8, I think the problem they've found is being mid-pack. They're getting caught up in a lot of mid-pack action turn 1. And potentially coming a little bit unstuck there, so good to see Willie Hogg in the chat there with his little eyes, little googly eyes right there.
Will, you ain't got time to be watching this, man. You got to relax, you know. You got work to do tomorrow. You got a shed to build, you know. You got customers to see. You go back to being at home, tucked up in bed. Oh, Preston Mixer, sorry, commentator's curse, invalidates his lap there on the second to last corner, so we'll leave him to it. I feel like we've done him in enough tonight by saying all that. Mad Max is currently out.
He's about to come across the line by the look of it. He's just in sector 3 as we speak.
James Hunt is looking quick as well, 4/10 up on his previous time. Mogi bangs in a time good enough for third, but James Hunt might just be about to trump that as he heads across the line in his Mercedes, and he does. He goes second with a 1:29.7. Good time there from James Punt. Who have we got? James Punt. Yeah, I know. I went all sorts of funky with that
I thought
name.
you were going to save that for Mexico.
Oh, sorry. ZGS abandons his lap. Will Hogg, I am assisting Courtney apply for uni tuition grant. Good for you. Focus on that. That sounds important. What were you doing watching us? You know, that's your daughter's future, man. Jeez. Unless
her retirement for Trem. Is he retired in pit lane?
I think that's in the pits.
He's in the pits.
Yeah.
So maybe a sign that he's not a very, very big fan of this circuit, because he's set 130, put in P10, and he's just retired in pit lane. Although Willie Hogg, unless is Courtney applying for sort of something along the lines of a career in F1, because in which case this could be quite useful.
Applying for a degree in track limits. It should be said Albert set a time on the softs finally, and he's gone second with a 1:29.2, so a good half a second quicker than Leonard Cam. Oh no, James Pont, sorry, Leonard Cam's actually just set another time as well, 1:29.5 from him. So at the moment we've got a Mercedes 3.4. Not very often you say this, an Alfa Romeo 1 and Racing Point 2. Yay.
Yes, I think this is an evening where Joseph Rados could really excel here, because we've seen the past couple of weeks, especially in Baku, he was keeping pace with Ron.
Yeah. So I was going to say, we were told obviously no rain, but it is very much raining as I'm on board with the Hound at the moment. So that will hamper these last couple of laps for these guys desperate to get a time in. So we don't expect to see much improvement around here as the rain starts to come down in France.
So drivers yet to set a lap then are Nick in the Racing Point and ZGS in the AlphaTauri. Butler and Wolsey both greyed out there because they suffered a quali ban this week.
What did Wolsey get a qualifying ban for?
I believe it was for checking in. I don't know. Wolsey, can you let us know why you've been a naughty boy?
Yeah, man. Apologise. ZGS hasn't set a time yet. You're quite right. He's only about halfway around his outlap, so he's going to be really under it here if he wants to get himself anywhere near sort of the top 10, considering he's got the rain to contend with as well. Can't push quite as hard as he maybe would have liked to at the start of this session. But elsewhere, it looks like, I mean, the grid is pretty much looking like it's going to be set where it is, because as I say, the rain isn't going to see much improvement for these guys. I think the guys at the top will be coming out to get another lap in. Who am I looking at? Tell me.
Have a little gander, just positioning there. Newcomer Mad Max sitting P6 in his Renault, so a cracking qualifying session for him in only his second week here on the Monday League, so great result there.
Yep, no, it's looking positive for the Mercedes guys as well at the moment, third and fourth, so if they can keep it together in the race, that will be a big points haul for them in their fight in the Constructors' Championship. Those guys are 196 points, so they've got points they need to make up to catch up to, say, Williams and Alfa Romeo, 220 and 240. Albert retires from the session. That is a retirement in the pits. He doesn't feel like he can improve with the rain coming down as hard as it is. ZGS is out of the session as well. Joseph Morales retires. You know what? I think they've all seen the rain and they're just like, I can't bother. Oh, yeah, we're on board with Mogi, who's had a little slide, and he's out the session as well. Wow.
He's just pinned it into the wall there.
DRS disabled as well from race control, so that is pretty much going to kill this session. I mean, if James Punt, Wheeler, Butters and Mixer all want to just sort of retire, we can get straight to the race, because you ain't getting any better, are you?
So, I think then, as it stands, and this is the grid as you see it on the left-hand side of the screen.
So we've got Joseph Morados going to be sitting on pole. Albert is going to take a second place start here in France. We've then got second row lockout for the Mercedes, 3-4, Landicam, James Punt. Mogi, our Subway King, puts in a good time for fifth. Mad Max, one of the newcomers to this league, solid time there for sixth. NUFC fan Liam and Wheeler, 7th and 8th. And then Butter and Trem, 9th and 10th. So all to play for in the top 10. And a couple of guys here, unfortunately, unable to set laps. That was Willis and ZGS. Obviously, Butler and Woolsey are on qualifying bans, hence why they've not set a lap. Now, James Punt just needs to retire, and then we can crack on with this race. I think he's just probably maybe gone to the loo or something, or just he's just taking in the rain. Because, I mean, through my headset at the moment, I've just got this lovely pitter-patter.
It is a nice little therapeutic sound.
Therapeutic. And whilst we're waiting for the rain to end, I think it's probably a good time to get Beerch out of the way, don't you think?
I think that's a cracking idea, Tom.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely brilliant idea.
Now, I was very on the cusp of not doing beer chat this week because I've been a bit of a naughty boy with the eating, and the beer is just extra calories that I don't need, in all honesty. But I'm going to do it because I've got this tasty bitch in the fridge, and I'm excited for this. I've got another stout. Last week was a stout as well, my first stout. We've gone for a Brewdog Layer Cake, which is a marshmallow and chocolate stout.
Oh, see, now I've seen this one.
Yeah.
I need to hear what it's all about.
So, let me just have the first sip for you. Hang on. Oh, hello. Right, I think if you were to drink vape liquid, that's what it would taste like.
Legit, strong flavour.
Legit, yeah. That is sweet. That is really sweet. Hang on. Oh, man. It's sweet, but it's like, because there's the alcoholic content to it, it then sort of burns your mouth, like, you know, like a little bit of whiskey would, maybe. But then it's just like way sweet. But it's 7%. That's quite dangerous for how sweet that is.
That's a big boy, isn't it?
Oh man, it reminds me of when I did vape, and I bought like the Red Bull one once, and that's kind of what it tastes like. It just leaves your mouth contaminated with sweetness. But there's no way I'm finishing this. I'll be sick if I finish this. I mean, it's just pure sweetness.
You gotta see it through. You gotta see
No,
it through.
it's not going to happen. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to pretend to finish a whole pint like Liam. I'm just going to come out and say it. This is probably going to be a half pint for me. Lost Lager for Brewdog for me, says Keeley. I've not tried Lost Lager.
Good shout. And Elvis Juice as well as a cracking one from Brewdog.
See, Brewdog I struggle with, and it's, I don't know, it's just not the most entertaining can to look at, and I like to be attracted by brightly coloured things.
I'm looking forward to this week for myself because I think I might have found a new favourite brewery.
Go on.
Northern Monk. Now, I had a Northern Monk the other week, a collaboration beer, and I've got another one. I think it was Mangoes On With Faith I had the other week, and this week I've got Faith in Futures. It's 6% or 6.5%. It's a collaboration between Northern Monk and INSA, and it is it's quite a citrusy, and on the back described as an El Dorado IPA. But it's good as well because it's like a charity beer, so it has a foundation set up to provide £5,000 grants to charity and community projects. That's quality, isn't it?
Yeah. That's pretty good.
On the back it just says drink beer and give faith, so it makes you feel like you're doing some good and not actually just ruining your life. But tasting it, it almost looks like orange juice in the glass. It's really fresh. To be fair, it's one that you could easily, it's going down too easily, if I'm honest with you.
Is it one of them ones that I've had in the early parts of Beer Chat where I said, not really a beer, more like a juice?
No, it is. It has got the beer comes through after the initial juice flavour.
Okay.
Which I'm a fan of. But I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
8? Ooh. That's strong. That's You're loving Northern Monk though, so that's going to be your new favourite brewery, as you said. So that's fair enough. I mean, for the Brewdog layer cake, considering I'm not a massive stout fan, and it's it's really fucking sweet. But 7%, that any sort of beer to that level that doesn't actually taste like it's that alcoholic, that has that kick to it, that gives me good impressions. So that's going to be a 7 for me. It's not going to be one that I would regularly pick up or anything like that. Very much a novelty beer, but we are going to give it a 7. Now we should focus because we're on the formation lap, by the way.
I was going to say, let's
for anyone who's wondering, there isn't a race going on at the moment. It's fine. Don't panic. Let's take a
little look then at the top 10 as they are about to come around, line up on the grid as they roll through Sector 3. So we have the Alfa Romeo of Joseph Rados lining up on pole position. Alongside him, SRL Albert DeWitt in the Racing Point, or the Pink Weapon as we like to call it, in P2. As you said before, Tom, Mercedes lock out the second row of the grid with Lionel Cam in third and James Punt fourth respectively. Mogi in his Williams fires in behind in P5 alongside newcomer to the league Mad Max in his Renault DP World car there. Number 7 on the grid, here we are, NUFC fan Liam alongside B Wheeler, and the second of the Renaults, Butters, lines up P9, and he has Trem in the single Red Bull on the circuit tonight for company in P10.
Okay. Let's get ready for the start then. We're waiting for these lights to come on here in what it's looking like an ominous France. Looks like we might get some rain in the race a bit later down the line. But you can hear the cars, they're firing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lights out and away we go here in France, and it looks to be a steady start all through the field. I can't see anyone going too crazy. There's a Haas that's pushed out wide to the right there, as you can see on the screen. And it looks like Joseph Morales has held the lead. Going into the first corner, apologies, the screen on the timing screen's all gone a bit funky.
A little bit of wing flying in the background there.
A little bit of wing, and I saw a move from a Mercedes as well on Albert, and that is Leonard Cam that has got ahead of the Racing Point before we even get round the first sector here. So good move, good start from the Mercedes, and work to do for Albert. We've got the yellow flags in Sector 1. Sorry, the order is all messing up, but I think we're back where we are now. So yeah, Mogi has dropped 3 places off that start. Not a great start for him. James Punt has held.
Under attack from B. Wheeler, who's going to have the inside line going into the next turn down as they dip towards the end of sector 2.
But no, Mogi had him on speed there, and he is going to hold 8th place, so no problems there. At the moment, Mad Max is making a move on NUFC fan Liam, and he's trying to give his teammate Butters a little toe as well as they head down into this turn. It's always worked. NUFC fan Liam. NUFC fan Liam had to back out there. But he's now got Mogi for company as Butters. And this could be a good battle. We'll ride on board with Mogi then. He's got Mad Max, just in front of him. And then Butters taking the lead for the Renaults here. This has been a cracking start to the race in the sort of middle of the pack. The guys at the front have just tended to run away with it, although you can see on the timing screen how close Albert is to making a move on Lanardcam. Actually, I think the timing screen is frozen, so let me just off and on that for you. There we go, that's more like it. Half a second difference between Lanardcam.
Nat has just posted in the chat, hope that 8% goes down well, my lover. Well, we're not quite at that point yet. You're going to have to deal with the aftermath of that later.
I've already got a headache though, that's the bad thing. Osborne and NUFC fan Liam in the pit. So you said you saw some Wingo flying. I think that was probably NUFC fan Liam's wing or part of.
Yeah, and that will also explain why he lost out the pace to both the Renaults at the same point down that straight there as well. So.
And why he backed out that really fast right-hander, I think. But Albert is still having a good look at Lanardcam here, keeping that half a second gap, whereas Joseph Morales has managed to pull out almost 2 seconds.
Mogi's putting a move on Butters. He's got the slipstream by the look of it. He's going to dip down round the outside, drives all the way round the outside of the Renault and gets the move done. Fantastic work.
Oh, nice. Oh, Aaron, I told you, you're sleeping on the sofa, mate.
Sleep where I want to sleep.
Don't let him talk to you like that, Nat. Let's hear it back. Come on, keep this going.
Anne's going to sleep wherever he shall lay his head, which will probably be on the sofa.
Focus on the racing. Come on.
Racing to be had here. Looking behind Mogi. Look at this midfield battle we've got going on. A bit further back, N Willis about to pull up onto the rear of Trem, who's right behind B Wheeler, and then just in front of those two, it's Mad Max. Wheeler out tight into the left, and Trem's going to get the move. Is he?
On board with Willis is the one to look because Trem's just made a great move there on Wheeler, but Wheeler's not giving up the position. He's still holding in 8th, but Trem is maybe going to have the pace advantage here. And look at Willis just stealing it. Oh, he's done him. What an overtake. Around the outside heading into turn 1. Fantastic. That was good. That's fantastic from Neville there. Good work, buddy. Good work.
Neville, you've done absolute bits there, mate. That was phenomenally good. Really, really brilliant piece of racing.
Really driver of the day already? Did we just give it to him now?
Well, that move, bloody hell. That was a great move. It was well worked and
fantastic. Right up ahead, you can see Albert is trying to make a run on Lanardcam. You can hear he has got DRS assistance now, but he's not made the most of it there, as he's still going to be behind the Mercedes driver, heading down the second of this long back straight here. Obviously, you've got the first one before that little chicane breaks it up, but that is a track of a lot of straights here, and the slipstream is going to be important, as is the DRS, in terms of making the moves this evening. James Punt has managed to get to within a second of Albert as well, so that could be a good upcoming battle. But further back, we have still got this sort of 4-5-way battle between 9th and 7th places. 9th to 6th, sorry.
If you look at, Butters is the one at the very start of that pack. So he's obviously dropped off from the rear of Mogi, who's managed to escape up the road. And Butters is the start of this battle.
So Albert is just coming down the main straight now, which means he's going to have DRS in a second to try and make a move on Lanardcam. But again, he just runs out of room there to get it done. Let's go back and rejoin the battle as Trem is making a move on Willis, and that was tight. Trem just had to leave it squeezed in there, but backed out in the end. Willis takes his position back, but these guys are not done fighting just yet. Let's go to the cinematic view as Trem tries to take the inside line, but Willis covers that very nicely and will hold that position, it seems, for now. But they are coming up to the next DRS straight. Wheeler is right on the heels of Trem as well. What a battle this is.
Now you've also got Pressing Mixer, the Hound, and Woolsey, all three of them stacked up behind.
The battle is bringing more people into it. That's the brilliant thing about what's going on here. Trem, let's ride on board. He's easily... Oh, no, he had to back out of that in the end. I thought he was just about to get past Willis, but he ran out of room before the corner. And Trem, we've just seen him go over the white and red curbs there and get himself a 3-second penalty. So bad luck there for the Red Bull driver, but he's got Wheeler now to defend.
Riding on board with Mixer as well, you can get a really cracking view of this battle here. Wheeler all over the rear end of that Red Bull.
It is looking pretty tasty. Trem again has to cut the corner there. It is looking all a bit scrappy at the moment for the Red Bull driver. Needs to keep it together. Leonard Cam has jumped into the pits then. Early pit stop for the Mercedes driver. And that will give Albert second place. And Joseph Rados still out in front by a good 3.5 seconds. So fantastic work there. But Wheeler is now going to have a brilliant chance to have a run at Trem, I should feel here. But Trem's also got DRS, so a bit of a train going on. Will Trem get enough to make a move on Willis? I don't think he's going to have enough room before the corner. But if he gets a good exit out of here, he can certainly try something outrageous heading into the next corner. Trem, again, really needs to be careful on the track limits. It looks like he is really pushing it hard here. And the last thing you want to do is bin the car in France. I mean, you've got so much runoff. There really is no excuse if you do make that happen. Trem's a little bit wide. Yeah, Wheeler thought about it, but maybe just decided it's not worth the trouble at this stage. Thinks maybe he can get him on the DRS straight here. Now again, Trem goes really wide there. Trem picks up another 3-second penalty, and now we're going to have Wheeler side by side heading into this chicane. Let's go cinematics to see who can hold it in there. Trem a little bit later on the brakes. That's fantastic work from Trem, holding position, getting a bit later on the brakes, and really keeping the car stuck in there to deny Wheeler the overtake. Cool, this is good.
You've also got to praise Wheeler in the sense of being able to back out from that move there, showing some real patience. He knows he's got Trem under pressure. He knows
absolutely.
That, you can see that Red Bull taking all different sorts of lines to try and hold him at bay, and we know Trem's good at making that car as wide as he can get it. But Wheeler's really sticking with him.
Trem at the moment currently has 6 seconds worth of penalties, so he's going to need to calm it down a little bit. Now, apologies.
Rados is in the pits as well. Sorry, just to point out there.
That's fine. The interval screen is all gone a bit funky. I've lost all the timing, so apologies. I can't quite bring you up to date with all the battles at the moment, but hopefully the game sorts itself out. We've got the stops graphic on the screen for you now, because you can see some of the front runners are starting to make their stops. But it looks like Joseph Rados has made his stop, which now leaves us with Albert in the lead. A good 2-second gap for Albert over James Punt. And look where Willis is, third all of a sudden. He's still to make a pit stop, but still, it's
we've seen a lot of that battle that we were just watching there. Trem, pressing Mixer, Mad Max, but all of them, I believe, came into the pits. So,
well, that's a shame, because that was looking pretty tasty. I mean, the Hound is probably the closest to maybe getting a move done, just the second back off of Wheeler. A bit further down the order, we've got ZGS having a good look at the rear end of Leonard Cam. But even so, is a good 6/10 back and yet to pit stop. Butler not having the best race. He's currently 13th, yet to pit, so he's the last person of the order who hasn't made a pit stop yet. And Mogi, who we saw have a bit of a tough start, currently 10th after that pit stop. So he might be in with a shout here once all the pit stops come round, of possibly a podium, depending on where Albert and the likes of James Punt come out as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's always...
Speaking of that, Albert's just pit.
Yep, he has, yep. And if you look at the stops here, you can see that Mogi's actually running net third.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It all depends where these guys come out. Willis, tough one. 5-second penalty for track limits entering the pit lane. And 3 seconds for Mad Max as well. So that's not going to help out those two drivers. Wheeler now takes the lead. It all depends, as I say, where Albert is going to come out. He has made the tyre change. It looks like it's going to be close, but he is going to get out ahead of the likes of Mogi, which is the next closest guy who has made a stop. So Joseph Rados retaining the lead, it seems, at the moment, or the net lead, we should say. But he's got a bit of company there. Leonard Cam, that was Woolsey he was making the move on. Apologies. Getting me Alfa Romeo mixed up there. Whew. Right, Mogi's man trying to make a move on James Punt, though. Let's have a little look at that. So this is after pit stops. This is possibly going to be for maybe 4th, 5th once we get the order reshuffled round after everyone has made their stops. But so far, the Williams driver keeping pace with the Mercedes. Not very often you say that.
No, he's doing well there. He's doing really, really well. Mogi has looked really strong in that car all season so far, so hopefully we can see a cracking battle here. I tell you what, the one good thing about this circuit, even though, like you say, it does look like a bit of a mess in the middle of the car park, the cinematic views look absolutely fantastic.
You say this as I've been riding on board for a lot of it, because the battles have looked so good from other people's cars. It's been difficult not to, but you're right, the cinematic view is pretty good around here.
Yeah, you just get some fantastic views of, especially when you see some of these moves being made. It looks very smart.
So we are just over halfway through this race, and currently we're almost as we started. The last two remaining guys to pit have just come in. Sector 3 yellow flags.
Sorry. Wheeler's just dove into the pit lane, so it'll be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to the battle that he was having with Trem and Butters previously. I
think he might just sneak out ahead of them, you know? Let's have a little look. He's just about to go over the time in line. Nope.
He's right in the middle
come out ahead of Trem. There we go. Oh, it was a little bit of contact there as well. Maybe it's just a glitch from the game, but... right, so you can see the order on the screen then. So when you only count in the guys who have pit, you've got Murados, Landcam and Albert rocking the top three at the moment. Mogi and James Punt are still going at it as well, by the way, and it looks like ZGS has moved out the way there. He's ceded that position to them so they can carry on the battle. Let's ride on board with Mogi then, because it's looking good from his angle. If he gets a good exit out of here, we can try and maybe make a move before this next fast right-hander. You don't really want to make a move into it because it can be a little bit dodgy. Yep, Mogi's going to back off there ever so slightly and allow James the room to get round the corner and maybe save that fight for another day, it seems, at the moment.
Oh, sorry, Preston Mixer just making a move, just losing a position there, sorry, to B. Wheeler, who makes a beautiful move up the inside, going down mid-sector 3, runs slightly wide. He's next...
I say it's opened the door for Preston Mixer if he wants to come back.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was just looking and eyeing up Mad Max there. I think he got a bit excited, and look at Trem right behind Preston Mixer as well. So fantastic battle still going on in that midfield for the last of the points positions.
So Mogi's going to get a move done here on James Punt heading into turn 1. He's going to have the inside line. They're side by side at the moment.
Oh, Punt's off!
Oh, has he binned it? No, he's not quite ruined it, but he is going to be dropping the order drastically, and it looks like he'll probably need to get into the pits there to make a stop, because you can see his front right end plate is missing. Didn't quite see what happened, if there was any contact, or maybe it's just a bit quick on the power or hit the curb or something and lost it.
Just a bit minimal from what I saw on my screen there, but just a little bit of rubbing on the sides. I think James Punt may have just been a bit unlucky to be on the outside edge of the curbing.
So let's crack on with the rest of the race then. James Punt work to do if he wants to get back into that podium position.
Wheeler on the inside of Mad Max. They've both got DRS. Wheeler on the inside backs out of it again.
Yeah, I think again he's thought maybe I can try and get him on the exit out of here. Let's ride on board then, because it looks like he did get quite a quick exit. He's not quite going to be level with him going into this turn, but depending on how they come out of the fast right-hander here, this could be very close as they head into the DRS zone for turn 1. James Punt obviously having to take it slow with his wing damage. He's just going to be trying to nurse it back to the pit, so he might slow this battle down a tiny bit. Albert puts on a fastest lap as well.
And it's looking like Wheeler's almost realised this, and he's sort of slightly backed out, doesn't want to get involved in any issues.
No, James Punt's not going to dive into the pits. He's going to try and persevere with the wing damage for the last 3 laps here. So Wheeler is just biding his time, maybe waiting to get a better chance at making the move on Mad Max. Mad Max is going to take the position off of James Punt, it seems. Ooh, James needs to be careful there, because again, it looked like he was having trouble coming out of that turn, and that's where he had the big mix-up to cause himself the damage. Wheeler has taken James Punt as well, it should be said, and he is now dropping down the order as Trem gets the move done on the Mercedes driver. He really needs to get into the pits and get that repaired.
I think with 3 laps to go,
we're not done here though.
Too tight.
Wheeler is still having a good look at the rear end of Mad Max, and he's got the DRS down the straight here heading into the chicane, but he's not going to have enough room before the corner to pull off a move. Mad Max sends it a bit deep there, though. That's going to compromise his exit hour here. You can see him wobbling all over the place, just struggling to get the power down and maybe panicking a little bit. Now this is the time for Wheeler to capitalise. He's got the inside line heading into this corner. He's going to clear him before he even gets to the corner, and that is good work from the AlphaTauri driver. Although Mad Max pins it round the outside and takes the position back.
Fantastic bit of driving
That is brave round there. Good job, Mad Max.
Cracking job from the Renault driver there.
So Wheeler then struggles to make it round there, sends it a bit wide, and I think that's just because he wasn't expecting Mad Max to come back in that right-hander. But that was good work there from the Renault driver. Now, we should get on the screen where the penalties are at the moment, because we're coming towards that sort of crunch time at the end of the race, squeaky bum time. And we can see a variety of 3 and 6 second penalties, which will affect the order and also this race. Obviously, Wheeler has 3 seconds, Mad Max has 6. So as long as Wheeler can keep it within 3 seconds, he's going to gain the place here. And as I've said, that Wheeler's got himself 3 second penalty. Well done.
We are working on that, to be fair. That's going to cause quite a lot of issues for those boys, because they're going to drop quite far down the order.
Yeah, my AlphaTauri Voodoo doll is working good today, boy. We've got plenty of battling to do, though, it seems, though, because now they're on level terms, you know, all to play for. James Punt is looking like he's going to capitalise from all the penalties if he can keep the position. He's still got to have a bit of work to do. Wheeler's going to go fully into this turn in the lead this time. Mad Max is going to have to fight back on the exit. He's going to have to do a bit of defending as well, because he's got Trem now side by side. Mad Max sends it wide, and Trem gets past him as well. Brilliant view there from the rear end of Wheeler to see that move being done. Now, will Mad Max try a daring move round the outside again here? No, he's not going to have the pace to. So this is tough on Mad Max. He's just lost 2 positions there, where he mainly only expected to lose 1.
Yeah, no, this is what happens when you get a battle that's running so closely between 3 cars there. We've got a comment there from TKD, loving the attacking from Mad Max, so Mad Max fan in the house.
Oh, it's good. It's entertaining.
This is a winner right there.
You just threw air horn.
It, yeah, down straight at the end.
Excellent. NUFC fan Liam is having a good look at James Punt, but he's looking a bit glitchy there. I don't know if that's my connection or his, but he's trying to make a move on the Mercedes driver. It's not quite working at the moment.
Right, so we're just going to have a little look again here. It looks like Trem is slightly pulling a gap out on Mad Max. B. Wheeler certainly has at the moment. Wheeler was looking absolutely astonishingly quick round here at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, the important thing is that Wheeler is the head of that pack of 6 second penalties, so at least he's going to be ahead of those guys ahead of him. But they will tumble down the order quite drastically, like you say, probably down to maybe 12th, 13th and 14th at this rate. So they need to be pulling out a gap together almost, maybe working together as a DRS train to pull away from the likes of James Punt.
Oh, saying that, you look at it and you've got the Hound there, Nick and Preston Mixer all with penalties as well. At least 3 seconds odd, so potentially for someone like B. Wheeler, this, you know, you might not lose too many positions in that respect.
Now Mad Max, as we race on board with him here, is doing that horrible thing where he's like, it sounds like his car's misfiring or something. It doesn't sound very nice at all. But I don't think 3 second penalty for Albert.
Yeah, and he's only 2 seconds clear of Lanarkam, 2.6 seconds. So this is
final lap
really
as well.
close.
So Lanarkam, yep, he's just got to keep it within that 3 second window and not go over track limits on this lap, and he will get himself a second place finish here, which will do wonders considering the bad luck that James Punt has had round here so far this evening. Especially when it comes to the Constructors' Championship. Again, we'll mention it, Mercedes and Racing Point are very close together here, and this will be very important come the end of the season. 196 and 201 points respectively for those 2 guys, and this could be one of the deciding factors, as Lanarkam currently sitting at a 2.1 second gap. He's looking good at the moment, just needs to keep it together. Albert needs to push here if he wants to hold on to second place, but it looks like Lanarkam is actually gaining on the Racing Point driver. It should be said as well, Joseph Moraldos, a cracking drive to now pull out a 4 second gap over Albert. We will watch him in a second as he comes across the line, but we've got to keep an eye on the Mercedes here for the final couple of turns. That gap has now gone down drastically to 1.5 seconds. I think Albert sent it wide there on that right-hander, and it looks like that's going to be a foregone conclusion as we see Joseph Moraldos about to round the final turn here in France, and it's been a well-deserved from start to finish, first place for Joseph, and he will take the win here in France with a close behind Leonard Cam in the end once the penalties all said and done. Albert will take third. Mogi just outside the podiums will take fourth. And then you see the pack that we were talking about. So Butters is going to secure fifth. But it's just whether or not where Wheeler, Trem and Mad Max will end up. So good race by Butter. But Wheeler, let's see him come across the line and then watch out for where he drops to.
I don't know if he really will drop that much. If I'm completely honest with you, I don't think he's got it.
No, he's got away with that.
But choose the other penalties.
Sixth place. Yeah.
And do you know what? I'm going to be bold. I'm going to come out and say it now. Despite penalties, from racecraft to the way that race was driven, B. Wheeler has had a fantastic race there. I'd be tempted to go driver of the day. He's
done well. I mean, there was a couple of good moves there. I'm tempted because of the entertaining factor to say Mad Max.
Equally, yeah. I mean,
now, the games driver of the day was ZGS. Well, let's have a look at the position change as well, because I really wasn't keeping an eye on that in terms of where people started to where they finished.
Position changes, there weren't many this round. Position change, I think the highest was Butter, who made up 4 places. Once again, another contender for driver of the day there, because he controlled his race really well from that perspective.
And 9th to 5th as well, that's not too bad. I mean, Mad Max did lose a position from when he started, so that made me sway away from him a little bit more. Sorry, T. Keeley in the trap. And Wheeler went from 8th to 6th. I mean, it's a tough one to decide, isn't it? Because the top 3 drivers were fantastic, and they did brilliant to pull out the gap. And I mean, I don't think we can discount Joseph Morales either for first starting from pole and then getting the job done so emphatically with a 6-second lead. It is difficult, but I think just based off of positions gained, which is what I like to normally judge this by, and finishing in the top 10, I think Butters.
Joe, I'm going to be inclined to agree with you there.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Out of nowhere, we'll give it to Butter.
Fantastic drive from Butters because he was there at the start and he drove a really great controlled race, pulled a nice gap there, kept himself to himself, was involved in that battle at the beginning. And a solid drive there from the Renault driver. So I think, Butters, Lurpak, Country Life, whatever you want to call him, he takes driver of the day.
Ben Hudson said, Judas isn't racing, mate. Help me out with that one. I'm sorry. Bit thick. Don't quite know what you mean.
No idea what's going on there.
Plus, I've had half of a 7% beer, so even if I did know what you meant, I'd probably misconstrue it.
Fair play.
I just said misconstrued.
He agrees with the Butters decision, so good to know that obviously there's a lot of thought and consideration that goes into this.
A lot more thought and consideration than goes into the opening theme.
Exactly that, of which we could play for you again if you so wished. But instead, I think we're going to take a 5-minute break and we'll be back in just a second.
Donna Ravenstyle, Willis getting in on conversation. Willis done the EEG overtake again. Apologies, what does EEG mean? But the really good overtake, let's call it. And she's got a point.
Yeah.
But he did then trundle down the order, and you've got to,
really good.
You've got to maintain the position.
We can't deny that move, but fantastic drive. But equally, did drop down the order after that. We'll see what Mexico brings, though.
We'll see what Mexico brings. As Aaron said, we are going to take a little break. It's at this point of the night where we do have to go and rest and recuperate and get ready for the next exciting race. So give us 5 minutes. We'll be back with you. Very much enjoying all your comments this evening. And we'll crack on to Mexico.
I can't wait. Do this for life. Get all the views.
Get all them views, boy. Right, see you in a bit.
We'll see you in a minute.
couldn't do more than that. Wow. Really? That's
Classic
what you
tune.
picked?
Classic tune, isn't it?
Shit, man. Now I know
You know
I've
you
never
can
seen
do more than
Scarface
that.
or anything
I've just
like
noticed in the comments there. Nat,
Yep.
what's she saying, eh? What's she
that.
saying?
You need to, you know, we
I
don't need
sorted
that
that out,
negativity.
don't worry.
I don't need it here.
I just locked her out.
Yeah, good shout. I don't need it here. Right, whilst we've got a few minutes before the next race starts, we should also give a shout out to the Thursday League. So for those of you who are fairly new to watching this league, and it looks like I've got a couple of new people tonight, we do have a league on Thursdays as well. It's not necessarily broadcast on this channel. David Benson takes care of that for us on a Thursday, because me and Aaron are racing. And exciting announcement coming your way for that Thursday league. That's right, we're teammates next year.
Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. So watch out, you guys, because we're going to be coming at you.
On a Thursday, just checking out David Benson's YouTube channel, the living legend himself, taking to the microphone to commentate on the Thursday League, which is going to be a good season. I think it's going to be a good season.
Yeah, well, this season's been tight. We've got season finale coming up in China this Thursday, and you know that sprint race championship, that's tight. Anyway, that can go one of 5 ways at the moment. So check it out on Thursdays, same time. David Benson on YouTube. We'll put a link in. Can you put a link into his channel on the chat?
I can try.
You can do that. I know you can do that. You're a technical genius. Right, looks like we're readying up here for round 2 this evening in Mexico. So another fun track to drive, I would say. You've got that brilliant grandstand section, which is always fun when you're entering into it. You know, so much pressure, I imagine, in the real thing when that's full. And then you've got those S's just beforehand. They're always quite tricky to nail, and a couple of tight hairpins around here as well that I always struggle with. But coupled by some long straights, plenty of room to make a move here as well. Looking forward to this one. You've got to be careful coming out the final turn because you've got walls either side of you straight away, and I've seen plenty of people bin it when racing online around here before. In that sort of area, just sort of getting power down too quickly and losing it into the walls. So do need to be quite careful. But if I were to go and watch a Grand Prix, I think I'd quite like to be in that grandstand section. It's on the screen at the moment, but how good does that look? That looks proper good.
So it's a good circuit, and it's a good looking track.
Yeah. Anywho, just waiting
right,
for
actually,
these
before we start, then, I'm just going to roll on in to... so there we go. Just in the chat... Ping, there we go. That should be David Benson's YouTube channel. Feel free to have a little watch on there. Thursday League running live around 8:20 to 8:30 for the finale of that league. But I'm going to roll on to my second beer whilst these guys get themselves ready.
You get going on number 2. What are you saying?
The second beer of the evening is very much a Game of Thrones looking beer rocking here.
You've
it's from
already caught my interest.
It's Buxton Brewery. It's called Kingslayer. It's got a badass looking dragon on a very matte finished can here. It's a double IPA, and to be fair, I've got to give a shout out here to Nat, because although she's given us some shizzle tonight, she did choose these 2 beers for me tonight. I think she's trying to do some damage here, because I quite like the little quote on there's a quote on the can as well here that just says, "We must have bloody noses and cracked crowns." Interesting. But it's an 8% double IPA.
8? I thought I was badass with my 7%. You come in here with the 8s.
I'm bashing you down, boy. I'm smashing an 8 now.
Is my can's bigger than your can?
The Northern Monk is a cracking beer. This, once again, tell you what, for an 8, you wouldn't really realise it's quite a fresh tasting beer, slightly darker in colour. More of your standard sort of IPA. I'm going to give you a verdict later on as to whether it's sessionable or not. I highly doubt it.
Not 8%, no.
Hell no, but I'm just gearing myself up for the season finale, because we've got some big Danish beer to come at the season finale. But
in case you missed that, we're going to be drinking those massive sort of fucking oil drums that you can get in B&M for like a £5 of the 10% Danish beer. Check it out, man.
And
quite intimidating.
It's going to be great. So in a few weeks' time, when that happens, it's going to be a great stream. There's no doubt about it. But this one, at the minute, once again, quite a citrusy taste to it. So we're sticking in a theme tonight, which I think is going to make this a little bit easier for me. But I'm going to give this one is very, very similar to the Northern Monk, actually, in a sense. So I'm going to go with, so far, initial taste 7 with the
you're dragging this
possibility it could move up to an 8. But right now, should we run through the order?
I was going to say, what is this? Are we just finding out who's been eliminated from X Factor? Like, come on, man, get out of it, you know.
So, here we go then. Do you want to
top
run
10?
through the top 10?
I'll do it, because you're going to take ages. I'll do it. Osborne starting on pole. Woolsey second. Preston Mixer, he's in third. SS the Hound, fourth. ZGS, fifth. Willis, sixth. Trem is going to take 7th place here. NUFC fan Liam in 8th. James Punt, 9th. And rounding out your top 10 was Driver of the Day contender Mad Max, who's got a lot of fans in the chat this evening. Let's see if he can get himself on the podium from 10th. So obviously we do reverse grid for the second race here, which is why the order is what it is. And that normally leads to some fireworks in the second race. So you're already welcome, don't have to thank us.
And I bet Osborne's going to be excited because he's seeing flashbacks of Holland.
He is, isn't he? He didn't lead that from start to finish? I can't remember.
He did, yeah. I'm just looking at the strategy soft. I mean, there's a lot of the drivers there we see on mediums.
You do the lights, you do the lights.
Okie dokies, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights will be... And here we are, we're away in Mexico, down that long straight, that long drag down to turn 1. So we've seen them all file into position, trying to battle for a little bit of that slipstream there. Struggling to see who's making a move here. You've got NFC fan Liam taking it deep on the inside. One runs deep on the left. Who was that?
That was Wolsey. That was Wolsey that went really deep. Wolsey's trying to enter the track a bit precariously there. And has looked to cause a fair jam up there, but no, everyone's back going again.
Trem
good
takes
news for
P3 on the way through there, so cracking start for him. He's about to make a move, looking on the inside of Pressing Mixer in that Ferrari, now to the outside, gets the cutback.
That little switcheroo?
He's got the cutback, he hasn't quite got enough on it.
He has to cut the corner there to keep out of the way of the Ferrari. But you're right, this is a good battle going on for second and third. Trem up 4 places off the start. James Punt as well has got to be said, up 5 just behind him there.
Fantastic starts there for those boys. And
Trem has already picked up a 3-second penalty though, so that's not great, not ideal. But it's going to make for an interesting battle heading in to the grandstand section.
Further back, look at ZGS making the move up the inside of Mad
Neville.
Max, is that yes?
Oh, Mad Max, sorry.
He's just going to cruise up. We've got an Alpha Tauri sandwich there with in fact you've got Alpha Tauri Renault.
Oh, a little bit of contact there as well between Wheeler and Mad Max heading out of the final turn. And that's going to slow Wheeler down.
Neville dives into pit lane. But just as the order settles itself
Mad
out.
Max is making a move on ZGS heading into the first turn down this very long straight. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Mad Max is going to get it done.
Max has got it. Fantastic piece of work there. Fantastic. Just whilst the timing screen sorts itself out as we're on lap 3, so as soon as these guys start finish straight, we should see that order settle itself out again.
Yeah.
Put positions back where they should be, but a great bit of driving there from Mad Max. Fantastic work on the brakes there.
And it should be said further ahead, we still have Trem, who's fighting hard here for Preston Mixer. Willis is now showing us in the lead. Is that correct? No, that's not right, is it?
No,
that's the order going wrong again.
Yeah. I fear he got some damage. I think Trem's just picked himself up another 3-second penalty, so 6 seconds.
6 seconds in the first 2 laps. That's not good at all. But we still have plenty going on behind as well. So Wheeler, ZGS and Mad Max in a 3-way battle for 7th, 6th and 5th at the moment. No penalties elsewhere on the field, it should be said. DRS has now been enabled by race control, and that is going to give ZGS a good run on Mad Max here down into the first corner. So let's ride on board with the AlphaTauri driver. It should be said that Mad Max is on the soft tyre where ZGS is on the medium, so he does have that slight pace advantage around here early on, but obviously we'll see the reverse of that in the latter stages for the AlphaTauri driver. But he's not going to have enough done to get the move there. And there is a bit of an incident behind, it looks like. It's all gotten a bit bunched up there. Joseph Murados is looking to capitalise on that and try and make a move on NUFC fan Liam, it seems. But again, he's going to run out of room before the corner. Although, he has got a Williams for company there with Mogi. Really having a good go at him there. Let's ride on board with the with the Alfa Romeo again there. Albert, you can see in the background of the Williams, also threatening for position. And this was the... well, it wasn't the top three, sorry. Lanarcam was in the top three in the race as well. But again, all drivers near the top of the order last time out in France.
Oh, just look how much of a gap Mad Max is pulling out now in that Renault P4. And he's just starting to pull out a gap on ZGS, and he's catching the back end of James Punt.
That's the tyre advantage there, working wonders for Mad Max. But there's a good four-way battle going on here. 10th to 7th. Do need to keep an eye on that as the race progresses. But as you say, yes, we do need to keep an eye up front as well. And Mad Max is going to have a run at James Punt with the DRS, I believe, as well. Yep, DRS.
Hang on.
Pardon me,
Osborne,
is open.
Is Osborne just pitted as well? We just missed that Osborne may have just opened.
No. Again, the game is glitching. You can see it on the map. Osborne is still in the lead. All right.
Just really confused me.
It's so frustrating, isn't it, when it does that? Sector 1, yellow flags. Again, that first turn causing a bit of havoc for some drivers, but luckily there is plenty of runoff down there, and we haven't seen any DNFs as of yet. Butler gets a move done on Butter, heading into the turn number 4-5 round here. So good move there from the Williams driver. Got places to make up considering his poor performance in France. He doesn't like France. He made that clear on the Discord just after the race passed. Looks like Albert as well has has he pitted? Because he's dropped down the order massively. Let's have a quick look. He has made a pit stop. So Albert has made his pit stop and now falls down to 15th. I just noticed that on the map, was a little bit confuzzled, but it's all okay.
Yeah, he's going to try and run those medium tyres to the end, which is going to be an interesting choice because midway around this turn, it's quite hard on the tyres to a degree. But I suppose it'll all depend on how hard he's going to have to push to keep up. So
good four-way battle going on still between Joseph Moraldos, Butters, NUFC fan Liam and Butler. Very tight as they head down into turn 1. NUFC fan Liam is possibly going to get overtaken 3 times down here if he's not careful. All the other drivers behind him have DRS assistance, and it's exactly that. He's going to lose 3 places on one straight. Just shows you how powerful the DRS is around here. He's having a good go at Mogi, isn't he? But again, it looks like Mogi's benefited there by staying behind him ever so slightly and has the DRS down there as well, where NUFC fan Liam doesn't.
Cracking view on the cinematic work there, Tom. Love that.
Loving that. Wheeler up ahead is looking like he's trying to close the gap on his teammate as well.
Meanwhile, we've missed that James Punt has lost his position to Mad Max, so currently Mad Max sees himself net P2.
It's 4. It's P4 at the moment.
P4,
again,
yes, sorry,
remember, Osborne is your leader. Very confusing.
Yeah.
But ZGS is fighting back and gets a move done on James Punt in the end there. And we've also got Wheeler now having a right good look at James Punt, but he's got company as well. He's got Butler right behind him, and Butler getting very close to the rear end of Wheeler there. James Punt is heading into the pit, so it's a good battle here between Butler and Wheeler heading down the main straight. Let's see what happens when Butler gets the DRS here. Will he have enough room to make the move on? No, because Wheeler will have DRS as well, of course, because he was following James Punt into that corner, so that nullifies the run down into this corner for Butler. Now again, when we can get the game to reset, I think I will just try removing the UI completely. It's not reset it now, unfortunately. Still it's showing as Osborne is last, but we all know that he is still in the lead. So apologies for that.
And unfortunately we can't actually see the time gap between himself and pressing Mixer.
It looks to be around about 3 or 4 seconds. The Hound.
Further back, the Hound. Just jump on board with James Punt will be the first person to come down to that incident. Just in sector 2.
Catch it on his left-hand side here. Nope, the car's already been cleared away, so that's annoying. Oh, I always like seeing a crash car. Never mind. Right, further ahead then. So we've still got this good battle going on between Butler, Wheeler, and ZGS. This is the battle for 6th, 5th and 4th currently. There's a good gap formed now between Mad Max and Trem, and also Mad Max and ZGS. So this is where the battle is at the moment. But again, plenty of pit stops still to be made, and surely plenty of penalties still to be administered. We're not even halfway through here, and 4 drivers already have pens. Up ahead, you can see Wheeler is getting quite a good run there at ZGS, but not quite enough to get the move done down that main straight. And ZGS has now caught up pretty quickly, I should say, to the rear end of Mad Max. Maybe those soft tyres just starting to go off a little bit.
Yeah, it could well be that 7 of 8, 18, sorry, yeah, you're pitting sort of around like 8 or 9 on this circuit, I believe, from looking at some of the pit strategies. Just having a little gander here at the championship standings. Looking at the constructors here, this is going to do AlphaTauri the world of good, but Renault as well have had a couple of great results, so it's all going to be to play for. It's so tight at the moment that it could change from week to week. So
ZGS, sorry, is going to get the move done on Mad Max then, heading into the grandstand. Oh, it's going to be tight, Mad Max. No, he's not. He's going to fight back. There it is. I knew there was going to be a compromise somewhere, and ZGS does get through in the end. 3-second penalties again for Trem there, and now Mad Max is having to defend like crazy from the two drivers behind him. He's got an AlphaTauri and a Williams, but the AlphaTauri and Mad Max are both going to jump into the pits. So that's going to nullify any sort of battle that was going on there. Yay!
Wise choice from Max there, jumping into the pits. It was quite clear. I think his tyres were just starting to lose the advantage as such. So good shout to go to the pits. Alongside Trem has also gone into the pits.
Sorry,
as well,
NUFC fan Liam and Butters are having their own little personal battle there. That's a good move from NUFC fan Liam to get into 6th place. Good work there from the McLaren driver.
Have a little look to see if I can find out what happened to the Hound.
You have a little look. So we've now pretty much made all the pit stops. Let's just have a little look at the graphic. I lie, only half the field is pitted. Well, that's very presumptuous of me.
Yeah, we see Wolsey also in the pit lane. A lot of, just looking at the penalties as well, if we take a little look at those, we can see that Trem has picked himself up a fair old amount with 9 seconds worth of penalties, 6 seconds for Butters.
Now 9 as well for Liam, it should be said, so not looking great if you're breaching the track limits around here at the moment, because you've got half this race to go, lads. If you're on 9 seconds, be careful, you don't want to see a disqualification.
Albert has had another pit stop as well. Albert's gone back onto the soft tyre as well.
So good battle going on between Joseph Morados and Mogi down here, because this is the obviously Joseph Morados winning the first race, so this could be towards the end of the race a battle for one of the podium positions, as Joseph tries to keep it on the inside there heading into that first turn, but has to cede in the end to Mogi. But it does look like he has a bit of a pace advantage, so we'll ride on board with Mogi heading down the second of these long straights here in Mexico. He's going to try and take it round the outside, and he's going to have the inside now going into this, but decides instead to back out and leave the room for Mogi to get through. Maybe he just didn't trust him there, that he wasn't going to end up taking some possibly quite bad contacts and consequently damaging his chances in this race. So conservative driving there from Joseph, and maybe thinks he can pick the position up elsewhere. We're going to have another DRS zone in a second as well, I believe. So DRS wing is open from Joseph. Is he going to get enough room before this turn to make a move? No, he's not. It's not quite big enough, that zone, to really feel the advantage from it. But an enticing battle between these two very quick drivers indeed at the moment. Both yet to pit. Will we see them come in here? Mogi is going to take the opportunity to jump into the pits. Joseph Morados will carry on into second place.
Yeah, just remember, Joseph Morados is running the reverse strategy from the start, so he could probably run to lap 11, maybe even 12 on those medium tyres. I think he's going to try and get the undercut there on Osborne.
Quite possibly. Now, elsewhere on the track, you've got Butler, who is still having a go at Mad Max here. He's going to have DRS coming down the start-finish straight. Is it going to be enough to get the move done on the outside here? No, Mad Max is just that second later on the brakes. You see him shot forward there. Very daring driving from the Renault driver indeed. But this isn't going to be over just like that. Butler's going to have another go at him here. And Mad Max is already trying to angle himself to take the outside round here. And he cuts that move off very nicely indeed for Butler. And will hold his position again.
My only concern with this moment for Mad Max in that Renault...
sorry, Butler's now side by side. This could be tight heading into this corner. We'll go into cinematic view. But Butler's going to get ahead of him before we even get to the corner. So good work there from the Williams driver to take that place from Mad Max, who's looked strong.
I was going to say, Mad Max has looked really strong today. Just needs to focus on keeping his tyre wear now, because...
Oh, he's going to have another go at him, though. It's not quite over.
Ooh. That was a bit close and all, but yeah, tyre wear obviously being that late on the brakes, you're putting so much stress through those tyres. You don't want them taking massive amounts of unnecessary wear so early on, because otherwise you'll lead yourself into that little moment that you had just before on the first stint where he was really struggling on those soft tyres. So hopefully we see him, able to be mindful of his tyres towards the end of this race. But it's going to make things very interesting.
Now again, very confused with the order here, but Osborne is actually your net leader at the moment. ZGS is yet to pit, so he will be dropping down the order a fair amount once he does pit, but Osborne is your net leader here. I'm very apologetic for the Simon screen because it is confusing and we don't know how far ahead he is, of course, as well. But the battle for second is looking like it might be tight. We've got Trem, who's really having a good go at pressing Mixer here, and Joseph Morales has got to be said as well, is doing a fantastic job all the way from the back of the grid, currently in 6th. It should be said Butler started dead last for having a little bit of issue in that first race, and he's up in 4th at the moment after making his pit stop. So that certainly is a driver of the day type of drive there. ZGS will come in and make his pit stop now, so we'll see him tumble down the order.
As we see, if you just look at the mini-map on the right-hand side of the screen there, you'll see the grey marker of Osborne, who is your current leader, just making his way down that long straight down towards turn 1, with Pressing Mixer taking 2nd, Trem 3rd, and now Butler is 4th, though the timing screen suggests otherwise.
NUFC fan Liam then's going to make a move on Mogi heading down into turn 1. Ooh, a little bit of a wobble there for NUFC fan Liam. Again, this might just be a poor connection that's made it look like that, but it looks like he's got the move done nice and clean there through turn 1. Butler is now right on the rear end of Trem as well. He doesn't need to necessarily take that place. Trem is going to tumble down the order with his 15 seconds worth of penalties, as is NUFC fan Liam as well, we should say, the gent we just saw make the move there. Further back, it looks like Albert is still struggling, maybe a little bit of trouble around here, not a favoured circuit. He's currently 14th, a driver who was 2nd in the first race around France. But this battle here between ZGS, Butler and Trem is looking pretty tasty. We'll ride on board then, as Butler is looking to make a move round the outside of Trem into that grandstand.
Oh, but look at the cutback that Trem's got there. He's got the cutback for the inside line. Now Butler will have the inside for the next turn. Gets the move done.
And there is Joseph Morales behind, looking to mop up on that as well. So let's see where they all come out then, heading down the main straight. Trem and ZGS were side by side for a second there, but ZGS has got ahead. ZGS now having a really good look at the inside of Mogi heading into the first turn. It looks like Mogi's going to be the big loser here as the head of that DRS train. Sorry, Butler again. Oh man, confusing, isn't it?
Rados making his way through. Oh, has to avoid Trem's rear end there. Gets the move done. Butler loses out 3 places. That's the second time we've seen that this race, where a driver loses out.
That first DRS zone, such a long straight, so powerful round here. Can really compromise or make your race depending on where you are in that DRS train. Just got to be in at the right place at the right time. It seems we're seeing a lot of shuffling round here between the same sort of 4 or 5 drivers, so it's all important where you end up in this race, not necessarily where you are at the moment.
Yeah, I've just heard back. It looks like there could have been a little bit of an incident. The Hound, with his retirement, a little bit of an incident getting knocked off the circuit there. So going to see exactly what sort of is to follow that incident later on. I don't want to give too much away in the sense that obviously that's down to the stewards to decide, so I won't be making any accusations up here. But
oh, safety
Ben
car
Hudson in the chat. Ooh.
Safety car on the track. I haven't seen what for though. Doesn't look like there's any major problems on track at the moment.
Everyone will have to stick down to a delta pace, but meanwhile we see Ben Hudson in the chat. Clean racing here. Well,
very
really clean racing here. Yeah, to be fair, it's been for a race around Mexico. These guys have been really good. So put on a good show this evening. Feel free to. I'm going to plug it now. Feel free to subscribe. You don't, just crack on, subscribe, hit that like button, the notifications, hit that like button, and then you'll get us every week. What's not to love about that?
Yeah, man. Even I'm a bit dubious how that could be too fun, but there we go.
Well, you know it, you know it. So
Yeah.
the order is as it was just before the safety car, quite clearly.
Yep.
You still have the Hound out in the lead. Pressing Mixer running second, ZGS P3, Trem fourth, Joseph Rados fifth from the rear end of the grid, and Butler sixth from the back of the grid. So those two boys doing absolute bits to get right up there in the order.
What I'd like to know is when we come round here in a second, is it going to be Osborne behind the safety car, or is it going to tell him to pass it? Because obviously the game has majorly fucked up here. So I wonder if it's going to...
And now this isn't the first time this has done this to Osborne either.
So Osborne is coming up behind the safety car now, so let's have a little watch and see what happens.
Now quite clearly as well, pointing out Pressing Mixer, ZGS and Trem, all three of which have pitted.
Now Osborne has passed the safety car. So that leads me to believe that Osborne might get screwed here by the game. I'm pretty sure he's been in the lead this whole race. There's no way he's 3 laps down.
Hell no, he ain't. So we'll be interested to see exactly what comes of this.
Yeah, because, this is going to be...
You know, at the end of the day, I'm not sure if anyone was going to catch him, but if anyone was going to catch him, it's now Joseph Rados, who is currently behind the safety car in P1.
Kind of missed that in the whole pit stop shuffle thing going on there.
Yeah, there was a lot of pit stop shuffling going on, but at the moment, Joseph sees himself in P1. It'll be interesting to see. In fact, if I can look, I'll have a little gander on because if he's been told to pass the safety car, then he would have just had to have done what the game said. But if I have a little look online here, I can have a little look at one of the other drivers' feeds and just have a little look and see where he is, what his order is saying currently. So if I can find, he's up there, Butters. If I can find Butters and on his stream he's P11, then we will know that we are currently sitting where we should be.
Apologies for the technical difficulties here this evening. We can't be blamed. This is all Codemaster's fault.
Looking at it, on Butters' view on his very own stream on his channel currently, he is sitting P11 as he is on our screens now. So this could well be the race result here, and we could find that Osborne is in fact down 3 laps for some bizarre reason. We know himself and Liam have had some internet issues over the past couple of weeks, so let it be said that, you know, there could be an issue there, but as it stands, it would seem that Joseph Rados would actually be P1 right now. I feel like Chris Kamara, because I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know, is that Jeff?
But at the moment, looking at both Butters and I can also check, in fact, I can also check Nick's stream as well. He's currently running P13. On
Neville?
His stream, Neville is also running P13. So 2 other streams, along with ourselves here in commentary, are running the correct timing screen. So I'm going to say right now we take this as correct, and we will clear this up.
We deal with the fallout later, yeah.
Damn straight, 100%.
Quite literally someone else's problem. Right, I think we're probably going to see the safety car coming in this lap, if it's kind to us, because there we go, we want another 2 laps of racing. We don't want to end this race behind the safety car, so give us what we paid for. And let's get going again. We're going to have Butler trying to take a win here, although Butler's got penalties. We should actually get the penalties up on the screen so we can see where the swapping and changing is going to come. Now, Butler's only got 3 seconds worth of penalties. If he can force maybe Joseph into a mistake or get ahead and take 3 seconds off of him, that will be golden for him. Joseph Morales about to get us back underway then, rounding the final corner. Oh, bit of a spin there from Joseph.
Power there, wrong point there to put the power down, Joseph. What you playing at, son?
What you doing, boy? What you doing, mate?
Look out behind though, because NUFC fan Liam making the move on Butler early doors in the McLaren. Mad Max following up behind and getting a great view from his perspective there, and he gets the move done. So the McLaren moves P2, Butler P3, from Mad Max running P4.
It should be said, NUFC found Liam 18 seconds worth of penalties. So
holy monkey!
That'll put him last or something ridiculous like that.
This
So
currently means then that Mad Max is on for his potential first podium.
I'll tell you what, though,
League here.
You're saying that Mogi is looking good with all penalty-less at the moment. He's looking good for second.
He is, isn't he? He really is. So in actual fact, Mogi could well be second.
All the yellow flags, sector 1, 2, and 3, but no safety car.
And I think it is just where the pack has bunched up. So I don't think there's going to be a problem there. I think it's just where the pack bunches up through that very tight sector.
I think we really are being screwed over here by the game.
I think Codemasters need to do a better job, but I'll wait.
This has been a good race otherwise.
Yeah, no, to be fair, it's been a cracking race so far. We've been treated some great moves this evening. In fact, both races have been absolutely fantastic. We had that great mid-pack battle in France, and then here, once again, we've had some fantastic clean racing.
So it looks like we're heading around the final lap then, or is it? Who knows?
Butters makes the move on B Wheeler. Sorry, Tom, to interject there. Butters making a move on Wheeler in his Alpha Tauri. Cracking move up the inside into turn 1 as well.
Yep, so really can't trust what we're seeing on the screen at the moment, because again, I think it's the last lap. Hopefully it is. We've got yellow flags all over the track for no apparent reason. But we will get this race finished. NUFC fan Liam disqualified. Multiple penalties. Sorry about that, NUFC fan Liam. I kind of saw that coming though. But that has left us with the order as it is, and as it stands, you will see Mogi in second place and Preston Mixer, who's been running second for most of this race, we believe, as Osborne, we believe, was the actual leader, currently looking good for third. Another DNF, that's Trem. Disqualified, not DNF, disqualified, it should be said. Again, too many penalties there. Joseph Morales, round in the final corner then, is going to take victory on the track, but TBD. It says DRS enabled now, but the race has just finished. God damn it, Codemasters. Right, as we said then, Mogi will take second. Looking good for that Uber, buddy. And Preston Mixer, a well-deserved third. Good race for the Williams boys there. Second and fourth. We said early on as well, it could be a good race for Alpha Tauri. And we kind of commentator cursed that because Wheeler's ended up 6th. ZGS outside of the points. So not good stuff from us there.
Yeah. Tough call there. I mean, I'm still confused by the timing screen, if I'm completely honest, because I think Osborne probably does come through and win this race, which would put Morados second and Butler third. We will obviously let you guys know next week if there is any change in that. But other than that, what a fantastic pair of races we've had tonight.
It's been good. As one of our gents in the chat there said, it's been fantastic clean racing, really good clean racing. Some brilliant moves pulled here. Mad Max has been very entertaining this evening, so plaudits to him. Osborne has been screwed here, says Ben Hudson. Yeah, you're right. I feel like he has been screwed, because if it weren't for the safety car, he would have maybe been able to race to the end at full pace. But because of that safety car, he's then have to give the position up, if so facto, because he had to slow down to Joseph Morales.
I'm sure, obviously, we do have independent stewards.
Independent adjudicators.
Will, who is our independent steward, he will probably look at this, and I'm sure we've had this before, and I think Osborne will be able to provide the evidence that if in fact he was in the lead at that point, apologies for any noise, that will be the dog, that he will be able to, argue that case, and will in fact potentially take the race victory. So we will let you know next week the final standings of the Mexico result.
T. Keelan says, who can we complain to?
Oh, I'll tell you what. There we go. We'll sling it in there.
What have you done? Codemasters.
Codemasters, baby.
Capital letters. More of this to come in F1 2021. Pre-order your copy now.
No, it won't. No, it won't, because that's an EA Sports game, Tom. What? Oh.
No, I thought genuinely Codemasters are still making the game, but under the EA umbrella. That's what I thought it was. Yeah, so it's still going to be a Codemasters game, I believe, but with more microtransactions.
Why should we bloody bother?
Why should we do it? We'll recap the final order then. Right, so actually you can see it on the screen right now. It's got Osborne finishing first. Now we've got to the timing screen. Well deserved.
There we go.
Joseph Murados second and Mogi in third. So Mogi still gets the subway and Osborne gets that second win of the season. There we go, buddy.
He does get a bloody subway. He might not go for a subway though, because
as we found out,
the subway in Tottenham is terrible.
May I make a suggestion? And this is going to sound
KFC.
really maybe outside the price bracket of what we're going for. I had a brilliant Ask Italian from Uber Eats the other night. Very well packaged.
Don't you start with your posh Ask Italian from Uber Eats.
Oh man, I had some sort of like seafood pasta, and it came in a massive bowl, like a takeaway massive bowl. I'm not talking a container, bowl.
What's happened to you, buddy?
I've gone up market.
Mate,
I'm drinking stout now. I've always shopped at Waitrose. Come on.
Let's have a quick look through the order then.
I need more
before
focaccia.
that session ends. I think Osborne will be taking the race victory here, though, Ben Hudson, so no need to complain to code amateurs.
Very good.
Fair play, though. Well played on the pun there. Yeah, so we have had reports here. Tremor's gone into the league chat, and we can confirm that Osborne was, in fact, first. So
Osborne wins, yep. And who gets driver of the day here? Because this is going to be a tough one. I don't think it's Osborne. Because
I'm going to say Joseph Murados.
Well, I was going to say either Joseph Murados or Butler. He pulled out some good moves. But Joseph did do very well to get himself up to second, all the way from second to last on the grid, whereas Butler came from last and got to fourth, or fifth, or wherever he was. So I think Joseph Murados does get the driver of the day award for Mexico.
Two drivers of the day were as follows. Driver of the day for...
We gave it to Butters. We gave it to Butters in the first race.
Let me just message this through to make it
Oh, you're not saying it.
official.
You realise we're still live. You have to say things when we're still live. What do you think this is? Butters was driver of the day in France, and then Joseph Murados takes driver of the day in Mexico. Now, let's move on to next week. Preview for next week, because we're that professional around here. Next week, we are going to be in Bahrain and Austria. Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Now, that sounds to me like it's going to be another cracking week, if I'm completely honest with you.
Do you remember Bahrain? Remember this league? I mean, nothing major normally happens around Bahrain.
We had a lot of stuff happening around Bahrain because we have got an absolute slut of a corner in Bahrain. So, and I believe that was a bit of a risque stream we done last time in Bahrain. So we'll keep it a little bit cleaner, but
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Especially that and Austria as well. Two great high-speed circuits there to play with. Yeah. So, as we close this season out, hopefully we'll see Grant back, but interesting to see another victory from... Once again, it's been dominated tonight by Joseph Murados, it would seem, but Osborne gets his second victory of the season. Joseph Murados gets his first.
Yeah. No, good work from those guys, and I'm pretty sure Osborne will be very proud of himself for that win. I think it is definitely a win for him. I mean, it's tough because had there not been a safety car, he had such a good lead, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. And the game really did screw everyone over there, not just Osborne. Everyone in the race got a bit screwed over, I feel, by the game there. So this has been fun.
It has, and we'd like to just say thank you to everyone who's obviously tuned in to watch, because we've kept a lot of viewers throughout, so it must have been somewhat entertaining. Don't forget, just further up in the chat before this stream finishes, you've got the link there to David Benson's YouTube page for all the action live from the Thursday Night League, in which I will be kicking your ass.
You shouldn't have said that. I'm going to start practicing China right now because I'm not having that, buddy. I've got that Sprint Race Championship on lock.
We need to just have this rivalry for one more week, and then
shake and bake.
We can be friends, and then we can shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
All day long.
Right, this has been fun. I've enjoyed this stream, despite the disappointment that was the game. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week, hopefully. And just remember, we do this for life.
We do indeed. Thank you for your views, and we'll see you in rounds 19 and 20 of the SlyDog Racing League Season 3.